Welcome back to week 2 of the Dominion campaign. This is the second week of the occupation phase. In occupation phase, combat isn't common, but in this case, both gangs have tried for the same territory. We have the Forge Burners, led by Volin for the Goliath gang, trying to take the Slag Furnace, as well as Captain Rourke for the Palanite Enforcers. Today I'm filming at the local game shop, so all the nicely painted terrain you see is actually theirs, and mine is in need of paint, and as this campaign progresses, hopefully you'll see it get painted. Today's scenario is Border Dispute. In this scenario, each team starts with a randomly chosen fighter within 1 inch from the center of the board. In the case of the Forge Burners, it is the ganger Crag with a grenade launcher, and we have Sergeant Mordecai, who is the sniper for the Enforcers. Teams set up 6 inches from the end of the field, and the Enforcers have 2 men currently off the field who will come in as reserves. Turn 1 priority rolls. We have a 4 for the Forge Burners and a 5 for the Enforcers. First up, we have Sergeant Mordecai, who realizes he is not in a good place right there, and he is going to activate and move double to get himself some cover and some distance. On the Goliath side, the champion gunner will activate and play the skill apprentice. This lets him make a leadership check, and he passes, needing a 6. This means that he can make the Juve Clinker, who is within 6 inches of him, activate, and he'll be able to make a full move of 2 actions without taking away his ready marker, but Gunner gives up his activation. So Clinker is going to move double, 1 inch penalty for climbing over the pipe, and set himself up in position. Next up for the Enforcers, we have Patrolman Harris. He is going to activate with a double move, get up that ladder and onto that middle of that platform. He's trying to get in range to put that bolt gun he carries into use. For the Goliath, we have Shiv. He will activate and make a double move, moving up to get behind the door on this furnace for cover as he gets himself in range. On the Enforcer side, we have Patrolman Cassius activate. He is going to move double around the door of wall here and get behind some barrels, hoping to get some cover so he can fire downrange. Here we have Crag activating. I did not realize that Cassius got in line of sight. He is going to use his grenade launcher with Crack Grenade. He has a ballistic skill of 4 plus aiming, so he'll hit on a 3. So he hits on a 5 and needs no ammo roll. This is a strength 6 attack against a strength 3, toughness 3. I missed a dice roll, but I only needed a 2 to hit. Go on to armor saves. Having flak armor, he would save on a 4, but the AP2 makes it a 6. So he failed his save, takes 2 damage, which puts him into wound rolls. I'm not sure why I was measuring the blast distance, as the Crag doesn't have the blast distance. The wound roll comes out as an out of action. I actually should have rolled 2 dice, but the out of action would have stayed. On the Enforcer side, Patrolman Lavion activates, and he'll move double, moving up behind the barrels for some cover, waiting for a chance to shoot. For the Goliath, Volin will activate and move double, moving up to get some more cover and get in range. Only having a pistol and a hammer, he needs to get closer. For the Enforcers, Captain Rourke will activate, moving up the ladder and getting a line of sight on Shiv just behind that door, and he'll fire a crack grenade, trying to get revenge for his soldier going out. With distance and cover, he needs a 6. He gets a 4 and misses. I forgot to roll for scatter on this one. On the Goliath side, the Juve Clinker will activate. He will move and try and shoot at the patrolman on the other side of those barrels. At range and with cover, he normally needs a 5, but needs a 6 to hit. He misses, but needs an ammo roll. He needs a 4 to reload. And he's good on ammo, but he had missed a shot. At the end of round 1, we have mostly people repositioning. Goliath have an advantage now because they did manage to take out one of the Enforcers. But everybody else is now getting in range, and from here forward, it should prove to be a bit different. Going into round 2, I realized I didn't get the video of the bottle test, which they passed, and both of the reinforcements have made it onto the board. With the misroll for the Goliath, I rerolled it, and Goliath has the priority this round. For the Goliath, Gunner activates. Moving forward, he gets a line of sight on Captain Rourke on top of those tanks. Rourke was hoping his armor will help him on this. Gunner will need a 4 to hit, and this is rapid fire 2, so he gets to roll 2 firepower dice. He needs a 4 to hit. He hits with 5 rounds. This is a strength 5 weapon against a toughness 3, so he will wound on 3s. Five dice go out, and we get 3 to go through and cause wounds. This weapon is a damage 2, so that makes possible 6 wounds coming through with his armor and shield. The captain would normally need a 3, but AP2 means he needs a 5 to save. He saves 1, and the 2 other wounds go through. And this is damage 2, so that is 4 wounds going through into the captain. With a wound characteristic of 2, 1 hit would give the captain 1 wound roll. However, that he got 2 through means that he has to roll 3 dice for wounds. And the first one to come out has an out of action. I did not mean to reroll those a second time, but the captain is out of action. Over on this side, Patrolman Lavion's going to activate. He is going to fire his shotgun with a silver round, try and hit Clinker. He needs a 4 up to hit. Gets a 3, so he misses. And his ammo is fine, but he missed. For Goliath, the Juve Clinker decides to activate. He moves up and takes a shot on Lavion behind the barrels. He has a ballistic skill of 5. He's just outside of range, so he doesn't get the bonus. But there's cover, so he needs a 6 to hit. And he gets a 6, so he hits. The firepower dice cocked. This is a firepower 1 weapon, so with rapid fire, strength 3, toughness 3, I'm going to need 4s to wound. Let's go through and wound. Lavion's flak armor gives him a 5-up save. Cocked and reroll it. Gets no saves. Damage 1 means he needs 2 wound rolls going out. And we have badly injured. This puts him down and pinned. Next we have Ricky, one of the reinforcements, come on. He's going to move double, move over that pipe, and get behind the pipe to try and support Lavion. Shiv activates for Goliath. With the Goliath's slow movement, he has to run, but he just makes it to the top of the ladder, trying to get in better position. For the Enforcers, Sergeant Mordecai is going to activate and move a double, trying to get up that ladder and behind some cover so that maybe he can put that rifle to use next round. For Goliath, Crag's going to activate. He's going to move double, any penalty for moving over that pipe, trying to get in range with his grenade launcher again. For the Enforcers, Patrolman Harris activates. He's going to make one move to get up to the ladder and go up a level, and he's going to fire his bolt gun on Shiv farther down the line. With the range, his ballistic skill is a 4, so he needs a 4 up to hit. This is a rapid fire 1, so he gets a 5, so he's got a hit and 2 wounds. 2 hits go through. This is a strength 4 to toughness 4, so he's going to need 4s to wound. Can't read the second dice from here, but both miss. However, he does go down pinned. Over on Goliath, the leader Voland activates. Only having pistols, he has to double move trying to get in range to be able to do something with them. And lastly, for the Enforcers, the patrolman Brutus makes a double move trying to get closer to the action. And this is the recovery roll for the patrolman Lavion, and he gets an out of action and will be removed. And here we have the battle test for the Enforcers. They pass barely, but they will hold for the next round. This is the end of round 2. We have seen more combat. We have 3 patrolmen out now. The Goliaths are finally starting to get in range of their weapons. And we will soon see how this combat goes, whether the Enforcers can take care of their numbers, or if the Goliaths are going to start making some heavy hits. And now we go into round 3. The Enforcers are going to have to help to turn this around a bit. So we get priority roll going out, and the Goliaths get it by 1. For Goliath, Shiv will activate first. He'll stand and use his stub cannon to return fire on Harris. He has a ballistic of 4 and no modifiers for range, so he needs a 4 up to hit. Gets a 6. This is not rapid fire weapon, so it still counts as 1 hit. It's a strength 5 against toughness 3, so he needs a 3 to wound. gets a 4, so the wound hits. Harris is only wearing his flak armor, so he needs a 5 to save. I apologize for the poor lighting. Doesn't show well, but it was a 3, so he does take the wound. Being near the edge, he needs to make an initiative roll not to fall. He needs a 4. The 1 sadly means he is going to fall, and he will be taking the fall damage. This is just over 5 inches, so this counts as a 5 strength hit. -1 AP, so he needs a 3 to wound. The -1 AP means he has no armor save. So between the fall and the gunshot, he gets a flesh wound and a severe injury. Now he has an officer within a few inches of him, so he has to make a cool check, needing a 7 to stay, and he gets it. So the officer stands. For the enforcers, Officer Harris is going to activate. He's going to crawl as close as he can to his fellow officer for support. For the Goliath, Craig is going to activate and charge, needing that 3 to make 7 to make the top of that ladder to charge Mordecai. As Craig gets in position, Mordecai is going to play a gang tactics card, which will allow him to get off a shot before he gets engaged in hand-to-hand combat. Being close range like this, he gets no bonuses, and he needs a 4 up on his ballistic skills to land a shot. Again, apologize for the lighting here, but his shot, he gets a 6, which hits, but it's a 4 strength weapon and a 4 toughness, so he's going to need a 4 to wound. Getting a 1 means no wound, and it carries on to Craig's hand-to-hand combat. He has a attack rating of 1, plus his charge means he gets 2 dice. He's got a weapon skill of 4, so he's going to need 4s up to hit. And I rolled a firepower dice, so I'm going to reroll a wound. Okay, I got a 5, so there's 1 hit. And now to wound is a strength 4, toughness 3. So I need a 4 to wound. So no wounds, and combat stops. Mordecai gets his chance to retaliate. His weapon skill is a 4. Sadly, a 3 is not going to do anything. Mordecai is going to activate. He's going to take an initiative roll to see if he can escape hand-to-hand combat, which he manages easily. And he's going to turn and fire on Craig. With a ballistic skill of 4, he needs a 4 to hit. 3 is going to do it, but an ammo roll needs to go out, needing a 4. 3, the sniper rifle is out of ammo. For the Goliath, Gunner's going to activate. Going to move double, getting up behind these pipes, trying to line up a shot on another Enforcer. For the Enforcers, Officer Ricky is going to activate. He's going to climb over those pipes and get around that corner enough that he can take a shot on Gunner. I managed to somehow miss all the dice rolls here, but he did hit, did not cause a wound, which put Gunner to have to go down. For Goliath, the Juve Clinker activates. He's going to move forward and take a shot on Ricky, Measuring it out, Ricky's within 4 inches, which is close range. He's going to get +1 to his roll. So it's a normal 5, so he's going to need a 4 to hit. 2 is definitely not going to do it. So his turn's over. Bolan's going to activate and move forward, closing the distance. He's outside short range with his bolt pistol in terrain. He's going to need a 6 to hit. He's got the hit. So it's going to be toughness 4 to strength 3. So he'll wound on 3s. No wound. The officer just goes prone. And here we go for a recovery test on Harris. He gets severely injured, which equals to a 2nd flesh wound. That puts us at the end of round 3 of the fight for the Slag Furnaces. Goliath has an overwhelming advantage, and the Enforcers are going to choose to bottle out, save any more losses from the beginning of this campaign. And with that, victory goes to the Forge Burners. They gain 30 credits, 2 reputation, Bolan gains 2 experience, Gunner gains 4, Crag gains 3, Shiv gains 2, Clinker gains 2, and they earn the territory at the Slag Furnace. The Alpha Squad, however, takes a loss. They still gained 30 credits, but they lost 3 reputation. Captain Rourke, who was knocked out of action, was just out cold, still gains 1 experience. Sergeant Mordecai gains 1 experience. Patrolman Harris gains 1. Brutus gains 1. Ricky gains 1. Cassius got an out of action. Impressive Scar +1 cool, +1 experience. Unfortunately, Lavion, for out of action, got a critical injury and they could not afford the medic to save him.